it is one of those days where you're just kind of thinking, oh my goodness, why am I struggling today? And my biggest struggle today is, as it's always been part of me, self-doubt, self-loathing, what else can you say? Struggling with my self-worth. And I think that's probably a lot of people struggle with that. I know I'm not the only one in this world that does that. But with me, it seems to go through stages. And today is one of those stages where I'm really going to have to work on it. Because if I let myself fall into this, it's not going to get any better, but worse. I have an extremely low opinion of myself today. I feel I have accomplished literally nothing in my life. I feel I've made no friends. I feel I have failed. That's what I feel like today. I feel I have failed at so many things in my life that I really maybe shouldn't even be here, to be honest. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but I at least have that in me that I know that this is not the right thing to say, but I have a very low opinion of myself right now. I have a feeling of not belonging to this world, to be honest. You know, I can walk down the street today and my head feels like I'm in an aquarium. The sound is a little bit muffled. The sun is not as bright as it probably is. The sounds are not as crisp as they could be because I feel like my head is underwater. I breathe a little bit more heavy than I do usually. I feel I'm not getting enough oxygen. That's pretty much what I feel like today. So I'm thinking about myself very negatively, and this negative emotion is taking over. And that's why I decided, today's the day I'm going to sit down and talk about this a little bit, and hopefully I make myself a little bit better. The one thing that I noticed about myself is when I feel like this, sometimes I literally go out of my way to please people that I don't even know. If I can, it doesn't mean I do it, but if I can, I'm going overboard with saying hello to people. Hey, how are you doing? How's your day going? That is one thing that I cannot figure out why I do that, because honestly, it should be about me. I need to get rid of this, and I'm more worried about other people than anything. And I just can't figure that out, why that is. Why do I care more about other people than talk about me? Why do I want to please everybody but myself? How can I please other people if I can't even please myself with who I am and where I've been and what I've done? So I think that is one thing I really have to work on, is stepping back and saying, you know what, the other people are just fine. What about me? Where do I stand? Where do I even fit into all of this? I'm judging myself badly right now. I don't like my hair. I don't like my new glasses. I don't like what I'm wearing. I don't like the shoes that I'm going to put on probably. And I don't like the fact that I have to get off my ass and go for a walk. If it was up to me, honestly, I would sit at home all day. I prefer sitting on the floor. I watch TV. I would maybe watch Naked and Afraid, for example. Great show, people surviving, people really having to, go out there and get it. But what is keeping me from going out there and getting it? It's a good question. It's a really good question. The other thing, what I notice that I'm doing right now, of course there's no future in my thought, even though I know there's a future. The sun hopefully will come up tomorrow, so there's a future. But in my thoughts, of course, there's no future. There is nothing. And that's not a good thing, is it? Now, the other thing, what I tend to do when I get like this is I up compare myself socially. I'm looking across the street at these big houses that I never owned. I'm looking at a sports car coming by saying, wow, I never had that. I look at things on YouTube and what people accomplished, what they did, how many subscribers do they have. I have nothing. I have 0 subscribers. I think I have 1 like. It's probably my wife. And that's it. Does that bother me? No. That in itself does not bother me, because that is, I feel it is beyond my control. Whereas if somebody drives a big sports car, well, I should have the money. I had a good job. I never bought a sports car. But I do compare myself. When I'm this low, I tend to compare myself upwards to people that I would never compare myself to if I wasn't feeling like this. Because honestly, I don't care about sports cars. I don't care about big houses. I don't care about jewelry. I don't care about watches. It doesn't affect me at all. It doesn't matter. But when I'm feeling this low, that's the first thing I start doing is upscaling myself, thinking, wow, this guy across the street, he's got lots of money. He's really got it made. He's got everything he ever wanted. He's happy. I've never talked to him. I have no idea if this guy across the street is happy or not. How would I know if he's happy or not? Because I don't care. I do care when I'm down and out. But honestly, do I care what this guy has? No. I don't even know what his job is. And anyways, this upward social comparison is something you notice about yourself when you're down. Everybody's better off than you. You know, this guy might be lying in his bed dying. I don't know, but he's better off than me. That is how my brain works. So that's not a good thing, is it? So how do I get out of this? The one thing, I think also my state of mind right now is affecting my human interaction. Like I said, I try to overplease people that I don't even know. But I'm also pulling back from people that I know. I'm supposed to go out for lunch with a new friend I made, and I haven't emailed him back yet. It's been a week. I usually email people back right away, but this one it's been a week, and I don't even know why I'm waiting this long. He's a nice guy. I want to get to know him. You know, we're hanging out maybe one day, and I just can't email him back because I just don't know what to say. I mean, this is ridiculous. I'm being very honest here, and this is one thing I didn't do when I was streaming. I was talking about the game that I was playing. I was talking about all sorts of things, but was I being honest how shitty I'm doing? No, not really. And why didn't I do that? I don't know, because I don't want people to truly understand me, I guess, if that's a word that I'm using. But on the other hand, so you guys are saying, well, why are you making a YouTube video? And I'm making it because I don't think anybody's going to see it anyways. So I am doing this for myself. I'm trying, I'm looking at myself. I will, look at this video, what I'm saying, what I'm doing, and I really hope that this will drive it home, that I'm actually not doing as well as I think I am, and that I should do this more often and be really honest with myself. Now, the one thing about self-doubt and self-loathing and all this stuff is, I actually looked this up, and this is kind of ridiculous in a way, but I was thinking about, well, what am I worth? What's my body worth? If I was going to die, or I'm walking around, am I worth anything? I feel like I'm worth nothing. I've accomplished nothing. I feel it. Now, if you have a look on the internet, the good old internet, of course, apparently a human body, if you could break down every chemical in the body, every organ, everything is in the vicinity apparently of 45 million. Now, I'm a millionaire, I guess. Honestly, I can't access it, so I'm not. I find that number a bit high, but like I said, that's if you could literally access all the chemicals in your body, break it down, every organ, like a heart goes for, what was it, 50, 60, 70,000, depending. So I am worth something. Now, theoretically, if you don't break down the chemicals and stuff, if you purely go on with, what somebody can take out of your body, like your heart, your lungs, your kidneys, you are worth about $550,000. Does that make me feel better? Honestly, a little bit. It makes me feel a little bit better because I never thought about this. I literally thought about this, I think it was last night at dinner, talking to my kids, because my son is struggling right now. And I think the idea, I don't know where it came from, but, I was contemplating this basically all night. How can I make money with my body? Like, could I donate a liver? Could I donate a lung? Is it, but then you kind of going, this is probably not the right thing to think about it. I'm 60 years old. I'm not going to donate anything that I might need, to make it through the last 5 or 10 years myself. But it should give you something. It should give you some idea of, hey, okay, this is the first thought that I'm having. I'm actually worth money. So, maybe I feel better. Actually, I do feel a little bit better. Now, the other thing what I was thinking about myself is, when you're thinking that you're worthless and you haven't done anything in your life that was worth doing, that's not really true at all. That's your mind telling you. Now, for example, we were all born. We couldn't speak. We couldn't walk. We couldn't do anything. We were just a bundle of joy, hopefully, to most of the parents. So we brought joy into this world. The joy we brought is already something that should make us happy. When you see a mother cradling a new child, or when you see dad proudly pushing that baby buggy along the beach, we have brought joy to certain people. Now, if that joy lasted, and if that carried through on our relationship with our parents, that's a different story. Because not everybody has a good relationship with their parents, not everybody has a good relationship with their siblings, but at one point, we brought joy to somebody. We stood up. We learned how to walk. We learned how to talk. There is a lot of things that we actually have accomplished which seem to be worthless to an adult. But if you look back on your own history, what you actually have done as a human, you brought joy, you evolved into something, and you carried it forward. Now that alone is a thought that I'm going to carry with me when I go for a walk today, is I have accomplished that. And it might not seem like an accomplishment at all, because you look around and you go, well, that old guy over there can talk and he's got more money than me. This guy over there, you know what? He can run a marathon. I can't. That is not the point. The point is what you have done. The point is not to compare yourself to other people. Because the moment I compare myself to the guy across the street in the big house, I feel like crap because he has stuff that I don't have. It is stuff I don't care about, but it is stuff that he has that I don't have. So let's think about that. Now, so you have brought joy to the world. And if you say, well, my parents hated me, I never got along with them, I moved out when I was 15. That happens. I know a friend of mine did that, or had to do that. And so you can sit there and argue with me and say, well, that guy never felt any joy, or he didn't bring any joy because his parents hated him from day one. So what are you're full of shit. What I would say to you is the joy you bring into this world, somebody appreciates you. If it's not your parents, it will be maybe your future spouse. It might be a friend down the street that you've helped 10 years ago. It might be that kid that was bullied in kindergarten that you stood up for, which is 30 years ago. That kid probably doesn't remember you. But that moment when you helped him, you brought him joy and safety. And that is one thing that I realized I have done to people. I have brought them joy. I have brought them safety. I've offered my friendship to them. They necessarily didn't take it, but I offered it. And so if you ever think about the fact that you've accomplished to learn the language, your mother tongue, that you were able to stand up and walk, that you were able to pick up on social cues, that's a big one, and that you were able to develop yourself into the human that you are right now, even though with your struggles, you and I have done well. You and I have done well. I mean, that's, you really, I think that, not you, but I really have to go and break it down. I have to sit here and break it down to the basics, because I cannot build a house on no foundation. I could sit here and go, wow, you know, I've lived in, I don't know, 4 different countries, for example, or 3 different countries. I speak 2 languages. I was an airline pilot. I've flown thousands of people safely around. I've seen places other people haven't seen. But all this, when you're struggling with your self-worth and when you have all this self-doubt, it really doesn't mean anything. And so if my career doesn't mean anything to me, and all the different accomplishments don't mean anything to me, how can I get out of this? And I think it is the fact that I am thinking of myself about these tiny, tiny accomplishments, that yes, I have brought joy to somebody in this world. Now, one thing I did, which is kind of strange, but, you know, as you'll get to know me, you accept strange things from me, is I had a dentist. I came to Canada when I was 18, so I was, you know, a young man, which seems like yesterday. And I had this wicked toothache. And I hate going to the dentist, because in Germany, where I grew up, they back then, this is in the 80s, 70s, I guess, they would not give you any anesthesia. They would literally open your mouth, they would drill right down to where they got to go, and then fill your tooth. And that was a very unpleasant experience. So I was paranoid, scared to go to the dentist, okay? It got to the point I had to go. So I'm driving down the street and I see, you know, there's a shopping mall, and I see this big sign outside, "We cater to cowards." This is no joke, this is serious. This is in Victoria, BC, British Columbia, here in Canada. It said, "We cater to cowards." And it was like, "Wah," sent from heaven. So I went in there. I met a super nice dentist who, he was so kind, so calming, and he became my regular dentist for many, many, many years. And he literally got me over that fear of going to the dentist because of the painful past that I had experienced. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this, because I actually went to see him 20 years later. I hadn't seen him in probably about 20 years. So I went. I wasn't even sure if he's still working, because he was a bit older than me. So I went into his office, the name's still outside. And I said to the receptionist, "Hi, I'm here to see Dr. So-and-so. Is he in? I don't have an appointment. I just want to say hi to him." And the lady goes, yeah, no problem. Could you wait over there, please? And lo and behold, the guy comes out. You know, he's still looking good. He's got his mask and these goggles on because he's working on somebody's tooth. And he recognized me and he go, "Oh my God, how are you doing?" And you know what? I literally almost started to cry. I was so happy to see him. I shook his hand and I thanked him. I said, "You know what? I came over here. I'm in Victoria just for one day. You've been on my mind all this time. And I wanted to truly thank you for how you treated me when I was in a time of need, when I was scared, when I was in pain. And you alleviated not only my toothache, but my fear of the dentist." And it was one of those moments that I wish that I could have every day, because we had this instant human connection where he appreciated what I said. I felt better for telling him. You know, we actually hugged each other, wished each other well, and off I went. Why am I saying this? Because that was a moment of joy. And when you have all these self-doubts, you don't dress well, you don't give a shit about your experience, what you've had, what you've done, you don't care if your shoes are dirty, you dragging your ass off to your job at the supermarket, you know that nobody cares, people are just gonna be demanding. that is a moment when you should think back about the moment, that you brought joy to somebody. Because that is the key, in my opinion, to better ourselves, to get out of this rut that I'm in. Why don't we talk next time, and we'll go a little bit deeper on this. But I think that this moment in time is good for you, because I know it's good for me. I hope that this has brought you some kind of a relief, because it brought me some kind of relief. Do I feel a little bit more joyous? Actually, I do. And even if this message doesn't reach anybody on the big wide world internet thing, I think I felt a little bit of joy being able to talk to myself and hopefully make myself feel better just a little bit. So we shall see you again. We don't say goodbye. We'll say see you later. And with that, I'm out. Take care, guys.